Hey guys, Monk52 of course, and today we're discussing the Ibuki. Now, let's jump straight out in with the modules. Honestly, aiming systems is the best one. You could go main battery mod because people don't like the turrets versus the Japanese cruisers, but you really shouldn't be turning your turrets as much as you may think. Plus, the better traversal launches the tubes and a bit more accuracy will always help you out. This is really pick or choose here. You can go for steering gears mod or propulsion mods. I like propulsion mod genuinely, but I've kind of been turned into a steering gears mod for these sort of playstyles. You could go full concealment. I recommend concealment over steering gears for an agility based build. You could go concealment and perfectly fine, as I said this before, but you could go steering. Sorry, you could go steering, but I like concealment. This is a bit easier. And obviously, I recommend either main battery mod or gunfire control mod for a bit more range. Obviously, don't do torpedo mod. Please don't do that. It's either main battery mod or gunfire control mod. Probably gunfire is more comfortable. Recommended options, I recommend going for the targeting system. I have that now. Then the hull, and then last but not least, go for the torpedoes, honestly, because the hull is so nice and the range is so nice. Range gives you a bit more flexibility. You can dodge shells further away. Ibuki hull obviously gives you more hit points and a bit more agility, which is always nice. And then the torpedo tubes are nice optional because torpedoes are secondary in the Ibuki. It's all about the main battery guns. If with the same build as well, you get a second off your reload with the Ibuki guns in comparison to Mogami. So that is nice to have the bit more DPM. Very similar to Mogami, I must say. If we're comparing it real quick here. Yeah, there we go. Same commander build, 11.5, it's 10.5. So not bad. But yeah, something to note about the armor though is it's vastly improved. 25 along the bow and stern, and that's per usual for cruisers. But you're coated in 27, basically the entire rest of the ship. Internals, of course, are thinner because this is a Japanese cruiser, and you do have, of course, the exposed citadel, which is not nice, but hey, a lot of cruisers do actually have exposed citadels. So, coated in 27 with a 30mm deck, which means you can bounce everything bar the Republic and Georgia, which is not bad considering there's only two ships. Obviously, Yamato can do some work to you, but then again, Yamato does work to every single cruiser, so not bad. Inner casings, as I said before, a little bit thin in the light blue thickness of the armor there, but overall not bad actually for an armor scheme of the Japanese cruiser. Pretty darn tanky, honestly. You will get slapped a lot more because you have a lot more armor, which means you can't really rely on overpens as much. But you never really were able to rely on overpens when you played Mogami or Atago. So yeah, it's certainly something to know. I feel it's a little bit lower to the water as well. I could be wrong by this than the Mogami as well. So again, it's just a bit easier to dodge the shells. I feel, and the shells to go like above you because it's just lower to the water. Just at least in my opinion here, I'm not 100% sure on that one, but it's nice. The citadel is barely exposed as well. It's kind of like there's an armor build there. Commander of choice, again, Atago is just the bee's knees. She is the best for this, and this is what I'd recommend you run. You can run Mambelli for additional reload if you're feeling confident, and then Kuznetsov. But what you could run is a Makawa build. Honestly, Makawa is very good. Running Hems and Inspiration, pretty much all my cruisers, is certainly pretty good. This is what I'd go for. Basically a full agility build, but you really want Kuznetsov. It's a double concealment, but Kuznetsov, more range is just so nice. I would 100% recommend getting yourself Kuznetsov. And this is obviously the Yamamoto build I run here. Again, you swap out the AL Scharnhorst for Mambelli, or again, Kuznetsov. As we mentioned before, more range is just so much nicer to have for these kiting focused cruisers. Something to be said about Ibuki, honestly, it's a weird boat. You may think the stats and all that, oh, it's just a slightly better armored, slightly better DPM focused Mogami, okay? And you may be right in that, but this thing feels so much smoother to play. It feels like it feels so comfortable to play. For me, I used to play these Japanese cruisers quite a bit. I used to enjoy them. I still do. And it was such a joy to play this boat, honestly. Sometimes you talk about stats and it's got this rudder shift, it's got this DPM, it's got this reload, and it just feels so comfortable to play. Everything's so fluid. And when you have that in a boat, in a kiting, in a cruiser, it's so comfortable to have. It really is. You can you've got really good accuracy as well. Something I've noticed, like, obviously cruisers have generally pretty good accuracy, but this is very very good accuracy. Honestly, I feel it's somewhat improved. You can take a look at the shots. I mean, obviously, sometimes it's up to your own damn bad aiming, like there, but you can get some really chunky salvos. You get, I commonly getting 7, 8, 9 pens of HE is pretty darn. There we go, 7. There's eight hits there. Not bad for two salvos. We missed one completely, but the second one basically all landed. We have got a couple more shells, of course, but not bad at all. Honestly, once you find your rhythm for this boat, it really just can pump out the damage numbers. And obviously, the DPM is going to suffer, but it's not really built for that. It's built to burn the ships down, sustain, follow up with torpedoes if they get too close. Your angles, your torpedo angles are a little bit better than Mogami as well. They're not completely refacing. You have armor this time, so you can actually bounce things, but don't let that make you think you're invincible, because you will die. It will happen. Like Brandenburg here, we're bouncing shots harmlessly, but you can do that in Mogami as well. It's just you having the extra armor really feels a bit more. You feel a lot more safe, and it's nice to have. You just feel a bit more comfortable. It's such a fluid ship. Obviously, at its own tier 8, there hasn't been a battleship that hasn't got a 16-inch guns yet, so it's gonna struggle in terms of taking shots from anything. A lot of mostly everything at tier 7, and everything at tier 8 for sure. So obviously, you're still essentially a Japanese heavy cruiser with no armor. But you will take some shots from you'll tank some shots from Bismarck and the cruisers, and you are still a Japanese cruiser. Don't kid you not. You will take some massive damage if you misplay, but you can get some really nice shots and really good accurate shots. Really pump the damage out, and you're quite agile as well. I'm not even running a full agility build, and I feel comfortable dodging shells from even closer ranges as well. Just one. All I'm running there is one steering mod. That's it. I'm not running I'm running concealment, and I'm not even running double concealment. I'm not doing any. There's no inspirations. It's just the commander build you saw. It's atago, just full damage spec. All I'm running is sponge, which doesn't improve my rudder shift, and the rudder shift is so comfortable. This is such a fun boat, such a fluid boat, honestly. And yeah, you just want to kite as max range as much as you can, and use island cover. Really, kiting is effective only when the enemy run into it, So something to note about this boat and how really to get your damage out is use islands whenever you can. Also, use your rudder and your speed, and you become a very, very annoying thing to deal with. Something to note as well is they don't do the same trick twice. People learn, if you do the same Duke, acceleration Duke or whatever it is, to one person, they'll probably pick it up and they'll probably counter it, and they'll aim differently for you, and that could really, really go bad for you, Look at the people's gun turrets, pay attention. That Bismarck could easily delete us there if he's actually deciding to shoot us. He's not, so we're okay. We black the Brandenburg's torpedoes. He's not happy with that, I'm almost certain. Bismarck looks interested elsewhere, so we can at least avoid him or turn away. We can get some shots on Bismarck here. We've done some damage. We've got some permafires stuck on Brandenburg. He's not an immediate threat to anybody, so I can focus elsewhere and get some more fires and build up this damage here, really. Cruisers, again, one of the highlights of cruisers, one of the highlights of cruisers is this DPM. You want to pump it as much damage as you can. Obviously, when you can kill destroyers, you go for it. But if you can't do it without risking your ship in detriment way to your team, then you can't do it, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Cruisers are built different. Not every cruiser is built the same, so you do what you can. But kiting is what these things excel in, so you want to do it as much as you can. But again, using island cover is the best way. If you could shoot over an island, it's far better than kiting, because I don't want to get shot at. it's difficult. It's just the same there. You don't want to get shot at. If you're not seen, it's the best concealment. It's the best armor in the game. It doesn't make a difference. You could be the GK or you could be a freaking Yabari. It's not gonna make a difference if you're not spotted and they can't shoot you. Then you're invincible, literally. So we're working on both these battleships here. Both these Germans are having a fun day. Maybe Walter Bild's keeping them alive. I don't actually know here. It's likely they have Walter Bild. Yeah, probably. Probably have Walter Bild. So we are being careful here. We have accelerated quite far into the map border here, but We were aware of it. We did slow down here. Sometimes, like when you're kiting back, not kiting at full speed will help you out here. We are maintaining a strong angle here, but we're still taking some hits from Brandenburg secondaries, as you can see, and they will 100% pin. Speedo angles, as you saw, pretty good, not bad, not ridiculously rear face, but it's not the same as atago either. It's just middle of the pack, which is perfectly fine. Again, these torpedoes are used for defensive purposes and zoning. That's all they're there for. They're not for aggressive torping. You can, of course, do the YOLO, which is always nice to have, and these torpedoes will hit very hard, especially if they upgrade. This is completely stock, by the way, which is kind of funny. But yeah, the torpedoes will do the work. That's 100% true. So Brandenburg is pushing us here. We have to start kiting away here. And the torpedo does the work. There we go. Job done. That's the job. And we pick up the Arsehole Award. Yeah, we just burned him down. And that's 112k. We did lose a fair amount of your hit points there to Brandenburg secondaries. And possibly the Bismarck pen angles. I'm not sure. But it looks like most of it was secondaries. Though, as I've said before, it's not easy to find the fine details when you're watching, when you're doing a voiceover. The screen's a little bit smaller, and you do need to pay a little bit more attention. Anyway, so we push forward, pop our heel here. We need to kite ourselves a little bit back here. Team have done okay, honestly. We are losing the objective, but we are capturing some of it back as well. No, we're losing it. That's not good. We got pushed back quite far back by those two aggressive battleships there, which means we need to push forward as soon as possible and get our speed on. They're up by 200 points, and they definitely need to be taken down a peg. Republic is a very scary boat. With kiting cruisers, and especially the Japanese, you need to be aware of the velocity of the shells that you're kiting away from. So, general rule of thumb, the American shells are kind of slow at range, so they should be very easy to duck and dodge. French shells, very fast. Italian shells, very fast. And Japanese shells are, again, medium of the pack sort of region there. Battleship potential there. Yeah, it's probably Iowa. Probably Iowa at the time. We need to be aware about him because I can't actually see him, and he's a big threat if he gets another decent shot on us. We do luckily just overpen there for Republic. I didn't think he'd get the shot off, but he obviously led it a little bit. No, that's Iowa. I think that's Iowa. Because yeah, he can't shoot over the island. Again, timing your shots is very important, especially with the longer reload. Obviously, 10 seconds is for some cruisers is a long reload, but this is a heavy cruiser. You're firing a lot of 203, so it's not that bad. And again, look at that angle here. Really don't really have a great shot on this Republic, but again, 6 shell pens with the HE. This is very spicy Japanese HE. It hits for quite hard as well. This Republic is pretty much burning to death here. We're just waiting for the island symbol here. There we go. That's passed through. He's burning to death. We pick up the Witherer as well. Always nice. Iowa now comes into vision. We've got a fair amount of good teammates here we can use for cover. And yes, that was the GK. There we go. It's a Conqueror. Oh, alright. Ooh, even scarier, honestly. We got to respect the Conqueror. He can pretty much, I'm pretty sure he could maybe nab a Citadel with us, HE, and plus breaking out the modules or steering or fires would not be nice. Now he's gone for us here, and again, even if you are in situations where you're fighting Iowas and so forth, angling is probably better than just taking it broadside on. You'll just take more damage, period. Now, we're getting spotted here, and it's probably by the DD, because if you see Conqueror is out of firing range, so we're not spotted by him. I was in a smoke screen, which means the DD's not far off, so we need to try and deal with him. In the meantime, we're spotted anyway, so let's just try the blind fire on the Iowa while we push into the camp, because we have 700 points. Oh, the gearing gets himself spotted, which is really good, which means we actually have a chance to kill that man. We can fire the guns what we have, and you can see, really, the Treacherous has not really been a massive issue this game at all, because you really don't be turning your gun positions too much. And usually when you are turning your gun positions, you kind of want to go dark, and you can't go dark if you're still shooting. But yeah, as you can see, really haven't had an issue with the Treacherous yet. As you can see, we're turning and readjusting, reassembling our target. I just said, as you can see, about 5 times there. I apologize, guys. But yeah, and we really had not an issue with Treacherous yet at all, honestly. We've taken a fair amount of damage, but most of that's just from the Bismarck or Iowa. Bismarck and Brandenburg, possibly both their secondaries combined, and a little bit of their AP, I'm not sure, but nothing too crazy. We did lose a fair amount of health, actually. I'm looking at this, like, yeah, 20k is not bad. It's not bad for secondaries, honestly. It looks like Conqueror's getting attacked a little bit, but this is still kind of very scary. We do have 4 minutes left, that's good, but they have 700 points, which means we really need to get in that inner ring. And if we don't capture the inner ring, that's a big problem, because they can still win. I'm not sure how fast, I forget how fast the epicenter captures, but this is the guaranteed safe win. It's getting the entire epicenter. That way he has to kill 4 ships to win, which is very difficult even for a Conqueror here. So yeah, we get in there, we get the caps, and we can defend the objective. If it was a bit longer and that gearing did not get itself spotted, we would have pushed in anyway because we had no choice, and we would have tried to sonar and spot the gearing. Even if we died in the process, it would have been 100% worth it. And yeah, that was the plan before the gearing showed himself up, which is always like nice. I'm not going to say, you know, it wasn't nice. It was something good, but it was a mistake. And I do want to highlight, if the enemy did make a mistake there, then the plan would be to push that gearing off the cap and try and secure the middle here, because we really need the points. Epicenter is a hate it, love hate map, because the capture points in the middle are so important, because when you have so many caps and you've got so much, so you can cap them all so quickly. You can cap the middle, and after that it just caps the rest of it. So if the DDs don't push, it's very easy to lose a game just straight out by points so quickly, and it's very dangerous. Now again, this is another use of your torpedoes here. Torpedoes are great, but usually you don't fire them as you kind of use them as a, you know, a deterrent, or you know, of course the island ambush here. But you don't want to shoot him as much as you can unless you know he's not going to change his course. Now we can shoot here because he knows that we're just kiting, and that's fine. He doesn't necessarily know that. There we go. See, as soon as we shoot, actually he does turn away, which is not nice. 16-inch guns and Conqueror, but we're pretty quick here. Yeah, and the island saves us from most of it. Again, picking your time to shoot will help you out, and using island cover is the best defense, because nothing can go through an island. There's no overmatch, there's no auto bounce checks, nothing for islands here. We're going to slow down here and just use the island cover to protect us from Conqueror, because honestly it doesn't matter what he fires, it's going to be pretty dangerous. Those torpedoes are still got decent range, by the way. I don't know, he might run out of them, honestly, but yeah, we do get spotted here, but we're in reverse. We can maintain a pretty good angle by the time he fires the shells. British shells are kind of slow, so we should have a decent time in dodging. And again, island cover is king, so we're just fine. We're just farming damage in this man at the very end. Peter's run out of juice because he did actually end up turning away as soon as we fired our guns, which kind of is expected, but again, it's more to prevent him from just pushing me and straight up trying to kill me that way. We do push him, well, we do get a final kill shot on him, and yeah, a pretty good game for a stock Ibuki, honestly. 175k, whether 16 fires, 2.57, 3.37, sorry, high caliber, and the Arsenal award, guys. Hope you enjoyed, hope you had a wonderful time, and hope this helped you out. I've not really seen many videos in gearing on Ibuki, sorry, on Ibuki, so let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think of her? And you know, is she the dark horse? Are you guys willing to give her a go? Let me know in the comments down below. See you later, guys. Bye for now.